Coming up on today's show, in the hot dish, there's going to be a story that will be read that Fallon just revealed her opinion about.
Yeah, sounds like something I would rather avoid. I'd rather stare at a wall than watch this new show.
That's how I feel about listening to your radio show.
You watch your mouth or I'll smack it on TV.
Roll the open before violence breaks out.
Every day.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. Every day. We do it our own way. Sing it out every day. Yeah, let's make it a good day. Every day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Now, here's Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy day. Thank you. Let's get started. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Jace. Today, let's start with a bizarre new fashion item. Shoes that can turn into a purse. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, audience.
Yeah, why?
Adidas wrote to us now.
No.
Adidas has a new sneaker collab with a Swedish fashion house.
So bad.
Look at these. Audience, look at these. They're calling them, no, the name is actually worse than the design. They're calling it the Super Finger Superstar.
Okay.
That's right. There's a joke that I'm not going to say. Anyway, they have detachable four-toed rubber gloves that double as a purse. And you'll never guess, so if the design is ugly to you and the name is ugly to you, wait till you hear the price, $250.
Pass. No, thank you. Boo.
Thank you. Fallon, that's what I'm getting you for Christmas. And it turns out some people really want them. Some larger sizes have already sold out online. Yeah, I know.
Why?
And one of the people that have bought one of those sizes, give it up for Fallon, everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fashion houses are not right.
I'll just take the cash. You don't have to buy the shoes for me.
No, those aren't just ugly. They're just, who needs that? Who needs that?
I think they just release things like that just to get some people to talk about it, like
us?
Extra marketing. Yeah, because
Like we just did?
Yeah, because no. Why?
No.
Pass.
We mentioned this yesterday. We didn't get to it. What is today? It's today Tuesday?
It's Tuesday,
we didn't get, yesterday was our first show back since Thanksgiving. We didn't get to it yesterday. I talked about taking executive producer Jeff to Walt Disney World. While we were there, you were with wildlife.
I was, yes. That's what I do. I embrace the wildlife.
Yes, you do.
So I used to always go visit my sister, but almost use it as a reason to go to Disney. And she was like, you know, there are other things in like Orlando. I was like, are there?
Yeah.
And so she was like, let's go do this. It was my stepson's 17th birthday. So we landed and immediately drove to a place called Silver Springs. And it's a place where you can do like kayaking or paddle boarding. And there are manatees. So it's actually very cool. So
this is your video.
This is a video that I took, and they come up and they breathe like if they're awake, they breathe every like 4 or 7 minutes. If they're asleep, it's like every 20 minutes. And the water is so clear. I had never seen a manatee that close. That's my daughter.
Look at Olive.
She was pretty excited and a little scared. And let me tell you, these things release a ton of gas as well. So it was like tons of bubbles everywhere. And I've never been more hyped for gas in my life. I was like, get it, girl. I was filming them, tooting in the water.
Is this when, now yesterday you ended our show jokingly shaming your daughter. Is this when she wasn't pulling her weight in the canoe?
Yeah, my husband's been training my 5-year-old to do pull-ups since she was like 4. Every night before bed, she has to do pull-ups because, you know, it's normal. It's whatever.
What is this, an officer and a gentleman?
Yes,
what do you mean?
it is. So, surprise, surprise, lost all that muscle strength when it came time to helping Mom paddle the kayak. So I'm just out here, like, trying to get us going. She's laid back like this. At one point,
She's 5,
she
Fallon.
fell asleep at one point, almost in a mocking fashion. And everyone else, they had like partners, you know, like my husband with his bulging biceps.
Yeah.
And then my stepson helped a little bit. But I'm like, how'd I get stuck with a 5-year-old? No contributions.
No.
But memories, I guess.
Yeah. or future topics for therapy. Either one.
She'll have a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it was very cool. If you ever go to that area, sometimes there are like monkeys that go around as well. They were hiding that day, convenient, on vacation for Thanksgiving, I guess. But the manatees, super awesome.
I know we're getting ready to go on a cruise, and my Colin knows that I love monkeys, and there is an excursion. So does photographer Eric. There's an excursion that you can do where you can feed monkeys, and I'm like, I don't know. When we did a cruise a couple years ago where we went to the dock or we went to the port, and the people put the monkeys on you, and then they try to get money out of you. They're like, oh, $70 per monkey. And I'm like, I didn't ask for the monkey on my shoulder. And now they're asking for $70.
Also, monkeys, very smart. I don't trust them. I've seen too many videos of them stealing people's purses, and then they like hold them hostage. I don't want to fight a monkey.
No.
I'm not strong enough, guaranteed.
And I don't want monkeys dressed in costumes.
No.
They shouldn't be dressed as Jack Sparrow. I don't need a monkey like that. I don't.
Monkey Jack Sparrow.
Let the monkeys be naked.
Agree.
Thank you.
And you've always
I'm putting
said
that on a thank you.
You've always said that.
It's my life motto.
It is.
One
Let the
of
monkeys
them.
be
Let the
naked.
monkeys be naked. Let's get started. It's going to be that show today.
I thought you were going to pull out Mercedes.
I'm going to pull out.
Where is she at?
Where is she? Oh, here she is.
Funny enough, you put Mercedes in a tutu, so I
There's
mean,
Mercedes right there.
So,
Here she is.
she's so creepy.
We'll set her right by Fallon right there.
She's top heavy.
She is kind of. Oh no, let's do that.
This is a family show. Oh my God.
I should not show that end of Mercedes. Let's
put her away.
We'll put that over here. We almost got shut down by the FCC right there. Let's get started. You can tell executive producer Jeff isn't here today.
I know, no kidding. Yeah.
Roll the hot dish, Leo. Let's get started, everybody. Woo! Okay. Almost became a very different show today. First up, a powerful moment about confronting your bullies. In a new interview for 60 Minutes that's getting a lot of traction, Kate Winslet, who I already loved, and this is toward the end. There's so many good moments, but this one, she got real emotional when remembering the tabloid coverage of her during Titanic. Remember, Kate was 21 years old. Keep this in mind, everybody, when Titanic came out. At the time, some reporters scrutinized her weight. Listen to what she had to say about it years later. Watch this.
While Titanic made Winslet a star, she says it came at a cost. Paparazzi aggressively pursued her, and just listen to how she was ridiculed for her weight.
Kate's a little melted and poured into that dress. And, you know, she just needed 2 sizes large, and it would probably have been okay.
I gasped at how cruel some of that coverage was of you at that time.
I know. It's absolutely appalling. What kind of a person must they be to do something like that to a young actress who's just trying to figure it out?
Did you ever get face-to-face with any of those people?
I did get face-to-face.
What did you say?
I let them have it. I said, I hope this haunts you.
It was a great moment. It was a great moment because it wasn't just for me. It was for all those people who were subjected to that level of harassment. It was horrific. It was really bad.
Now 49.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I know you and I both, you from a different point of view, me obviously from a different point of view, being in the public in a much smaller degree than Kate, it's hard. It's really hard. No matter how you're feeling about yourself, no matter how many good emails you get, you can come out one day and wear something and you get something like that, and you think about it for days.
Yeah, when I moved to Minnesota close to 13 years ago, I had worked in radio in Indiana and Reno, Nevada, and people just really didn't comment on how I physically looked. And I remember I moved here and I was so excited, and people were so interactive with the show I was on and with me. And then it very, very quickly turned into all about my physical appearance and my weight. And I'll never forget my first few weeks here, because I was alone and I was living in a hotel room, and I would sit because you're excited, you want to see that people like you, and I would read these comments on my hotel bed, literally by myself in a brand new city, and it'll make me emotional. And just people were so incredibly awful, and I was 27 years old, and I just had never experienced people I'd never met before talking about me like that. And it's you're a woman, you're already insecure about your body anyway, you know, if you're not a size 2. And I'll look back at Kate Winslet, and she was so thin. I mean, she wasn't even large. I just can't imagine the scale and the level that she was on, receiving that at 21 years old, and how that affects you for so long. I mean, she still cries about it, and she's almost 50 years old. Yeah. So, yeah.
And she said that, well, she echoed what you just said. She said, I look at myself and I wasn't, by any societal definition of fat, she wasn't. I look back at that, that's 97. She was in, what she was wearing was in fashion, and she was beautiful. And look, there's one thing to comment on fashion. There's one thing to say, oh, that color isn't, but to then comment on somebody's physical, I liked Joan Rivers and I liked red carpet coverage, but I never liked busting on, and I remember before the Jason show went national, and isn't it funny, it wasn't 30 years, but that was 10 years ago, I received an email the day before the show was going to go to, I think, 12 markets and a big test, and I got an email from a guy that said you should probably lose 15 pounds before that show because you look like a potato. And I reference him sometimes, and he used to, I laugh about it now because he's just a disgusting human being and I don't want to give him any energy, so I turn to laughter with it. He used to get potatoes and dress them up as me and send me pictures, and I'm like, A, you're putting a lot of effort into someone that you hate, and B, how pathetic is your life that you go to Cub Foods and you buy a potato, and then you go to Michael's and you buy a wig, and then you go get crayons.
It's a lot of commitment. Some might say obsessive.
You need to get a hobby, dude. You really need to get a hobby. Thanks, Kate. We love you. The full interview on the 60 Minutes YouTube page. More Dish when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Again, thanks to Home Furniture for doing our decorations this year. We appreciate it. We got some feedback on that coming up a little bit in our mailbox, but more Dish. A relatable dilemma for men and proposals. Jamie Lee Curtis is about to celebrate her 40th wedding anniversary with the great director and actor Christopher Guest. She was on Jimmy Kimmel on Monday night and told Jimmy how Christopher picked out her ring. Listen to this.
He was in New York at 30 Rock, and I remember we were speaking, and I said, what'd you do today? He said, oh, I went for a walk. I said, oh, cool, where'd you go? He goes, Fifth Avenue. I said, oh, nice. Where? He said, I went into Cartier. And then in typical boy fashion, do you like diamonds? He literally walked in, and the woman behind the counter was like, hi, can I help you? And he goes, yeah, I need a ring. And she said, oh, a thing, what? And he goes, like that one. And then she said, oh, that one right there? And she says, what size? And he goes, that one.
Yeah, we don't know anything, and that's the same one.
And that's how clueless
Yeah, no, I
he
know.
was.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days.
Well, it is. I would imagine it would be difficult. Even as a woman, I don't know what my ring size is. I don't know what. I don't know.
I didn't know my ring size. I didn't know Colin's, and I proposed in Vegas, and I didn't think that I wanted the rings there. I brought my friends. I brought my mom. We told everyone it was just a trip to Vegas, and I brought my best friends, his mom, my mom, and then when I got there, I immediately regretted not having the ring. So luckily the store that I got the ring from, there was a location in Vegas, and I went to the store, got the ring, and my credit card was declined. My credit card, and let me tell you, I say this in not a braggadocious way. I say because it's funny to me, about me, I'm making fun of myself. It was a fancy-ish store, so it adds to the embarrassment when the shishi poo-poo customer service agent with her puckered lips is looking at me and she goes, like giving me the card back like it's gross, like, you know, this is declined. And I looked at her, I'm thinking to myself, first of all, it's an Amex. Don't act like it's, you know, a Sears card from 1982. and I was so, well, what happened was, because it was such a fee, you know, it was an amount, the credit card company thought it was fraudulent, so they put it, but I was so embarrassed.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was mortifying, Next in the dish, it's a key role in the blockbuster movie Wicked. Actress Marissa Bode plays Nessa Rose, the sister of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch. Well, Marissa, if you don't know this, is the first wheelchair user to be cast in the role. And cue the non-surprised in the world we're living in now. She's receiving, and we're putting it mildly to say harmful comments. I'll add a step further and say disgusting comments and jokes about the fictional character's disability. Let me say that again. The fictional character's disability. Marissa went on TikTok, as she should, to call out these monsters. Watch this.
Aggressive comments and jokes about Nessa's disability itself is deeply uncomfortable because disability is not fictional. At the end of the day, me, Marissa, is the person that is still disabled and in a wheelchair. And so it is simply a low-hanging fruit that too many of you are comfortable taking. So far beyond me, Marissa, just needing to ignore comments on the internet. These comments do not exist in a vacuum. Aggressive comments of wanting to cause harm and push Nessa out of her wheelchair or that she deserves her disability are two very gross and harmful comments that real disabled people, including myself, have heard before.
You know what I'm going to say? The fact that I even have to, the fact that we even have to comment on this, Marissa also encouraged people who dismiss her criticism to listen to people who are actually affected by the jokes. You may go, oh, get over it, it's just a joke. Chances are, if you're saying that, you're not on the receiving end. And I get, look, I stick up for comedians all the time. Comedy is not a victimless endeavor. But there's a line too. And also, let's add to the fact, what makes me roll my eyes at this is, you're criticizing a fictional character.
Well, she was like, go ahead and dislike the character. She's like, I even think, you know, there are some like annoying things about the character, but
Nessa is annoying.
Yeah,
yes,
she's like a sister, and so but she's like, that portion though, the disability portion, that's. Why are we making fun of that part? You can make fun of like her personality or attitude because it's a fictional character, but she's like, real people with disabilities are going to see these comments. She's like, luckily I'm a little bit older, so it doesn't affect me as much. She's like, I'm more concerned with younger people seeing these and it affecting them.
In the 10 years of the show and then the years I've been in TV and radio, I don't know how many times I've said a version of this phrase. I always wonder myself, these people, I don't wonder, these people are real courageous typing this crap behind the safety of a keyboard and most likely their parents' basement. Because if they encountered these people at a Target or an Aldi or in public, they would never have the blank to say this crap to them personally. They're only saying it because they're keyboard warriors and there's no accountability. That's why when people say stuff to me anymore, I get it. I'm in my era of I don't care anymore. I used to blank out their name when they would write horrible stuff to me. I now post their hateful crap online with their name, because if you're gonna post stuff about me online, I am sure gonna call you out publicly. I'm sure absolutely gonna. I'm not gonna protect you anymore. Not anymore. Next in the dish, who knew facial hair would spark so much reaction? Jacob Elordi, you guys probably know who he is, right there, is showing off a new look. Look at him, a good-looking guy. I mean, a very talented young actor. He's from Euphoria. He debuted a full beard at a film festival in Morocco. Now, it's not clear, and nor should we care if this is a personal choice or if Jacob grew the beard for a role. The best part of the story is reading all the dramatic headlines about the new look. So let's take a look at a few of them. First, BuzzFeed. Leave him alone. The internet is having a field day because Jacob Elordi has a beard now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Us Weekly. Jacob Elordi is nearly unrecognizable with a full beard. See the jaw-dropping photo. And this one. Bruce Wayne, is that you? The internet halts to a stop to decode Jacob Elordi's latest debut, his beard.
That's so crazy.
And the Daily Mail. Jacob Elordi's new look sparks chaos from fans who are all asking him to do the same thing. Okay.
Why?
Where?
Why?
I've also said this 5 million. Where is the asteroid? Where is truly the asteroid on this one?
I mean, he does look very different with it, but, you know, I think we're going to be okay.
When you look like that,
Yeah.
I don't care what you have on your face, you're still going to be a very attractive human being.
It's true. He is a very beautiful man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Has your husband, have you ever seen him without a beard?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Really?
I'm a facial hair person. I like facial hair. I always feel like I always tell him like he looks like a little, like his head turns into like a little peanut when he shaves it. It adds some like you know what I mean? Like his chin looks extra small, and I'm always like, I don't know. Like the beard gives it like some fullness. I'm not a fan of it, but he'll do it like, you know, because he's like, it's irritating. It can get like unruly. Sometimes he likes to just start over fresh. His hair does grow very quickly. Yeah. But yeah, I'm always like, oh God. Just like when I first see it, I'm like, oh no. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah.
Well, next in the dish, this is a story I referenced in the cold open. Here we go. This one is just for my boomers and my fellow Gen Xers. Heck, it's also for young'uns who want to catch a classic show. My beloved show, Knots Landing, has finally found a home on a streaming site that people actually know about. All 14 seasons of this hit is now available on demand on Amazon Prime Video. This is a big deal because the show hasn't been available basically anywhere since it went off the air on CBS in 1993. Knots, look, Alec Baldwin was on it. Knots was a huge hit in the U.S. Originally, it was a spinoff of another soap and my all-time favorite show, Dallas. Knots developed a huge fan base all by itself, though, with its stories about a variety of couples on a California cul-de-sac. Now, I think you got confused. I thought you probably think I was talking about a reboot.
Yeah, either way. Pass. Can't think of anything I'd rather watch less. That sounds awful. Do you see the video quality?
It was from the 80s.
Leave it there. That was so lame.
The new desk doesn't have my phone. Grab my cell and call Kendall real quick. I didn't see, We'll be right.
You need an eject button to shoot me out.
Boom. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment.
Or a hole that goes right here that I...
Gardening doesn't stop in the winter. Coming up in just a little bit, our garden guy, Dale K, is back with great tips on how to take care of all of those plants and holiday plants during this time of year. Then we're opening up the Jason Show mailbag to hear your questions and comments. Oh. So go get another cup of coffee. The Jason Show will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Look at this. Look at this beautiful guy. Well, the holiday season is here, and so many of us are decorating our homes with beautiful fresh plants. But if you want them to stay alive through Christmas, like Christmas Eve, you need to know how to properly take care of them. Here with the do's and don'ts of holiday plant care. Audience, give it up for gardening guy Dale K. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. You haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, I started to think that you'd forgotten my number. But...
No, I don't. You're listed as Dale K in my phone, and this is your first time on the new set.
It's so nice.
Thank you. We have a new, you're the first person with the new demo desk with the new warm wood. So there we go. I know.
Now you're making me tingle inside.
Well, you do that to me all the time.
Yeah,
Dale.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
Okay, where are we starting, buddy?
All right. So firstly, holiday plants, of course, very, very timely this time of year, and they make great gifts. They're great to decorate. Actually, probably one of the easiest things you can do to your home is decorate with plants. You don't have to put tinsel everywhere. You just get a couple plants, and Bob's your uncle.
Your uncle.
You got Christmas. So let's start out with some of the favorites.
Okay.
Christmas cactus or holiday cactus, very, very popular, and they're really super easy to time out as far as blooms go. Basically, what you can do to get these to rebloom, and that's probably the number one question I get is how to have them rebloom. What they need is about 8 weeks of darkness, and to also let the soil dry out a little bit. So if you've got a little holiday cactus like this, it doesn't have any blooms in it, you just take it to the basement or a closet, or just pop a little box over it, darken it.
That seems a little mean, Dale. That seems a little mean.
Well, it's for effect.
Got it. Okay.
Darken it and let it dry out, and then what you do is once that 8 weeks has expired, bring it back into bright light, and then start to water regularly. It'll come back into bloom. So that's a quick little hack to get your Christmas cactus to rebloom. And I know there's a studio audience that want to steal this plant.
I know. I heard him backstage, and believe me, Tuesdays we have trouble getting people for whatever reason. Give these people whatever they want. I don't care.
Yeah, because
I don't know what it is with Tuesdays.
I don't want to get holed out of here by Wendy either.
No, I know. Yeah.
So you got the cactus. Amaryllis is another super easy, super quick holiday gift.
Amaryllis, that's what that is.
Spectacular. You'll find them in pinks, reds, and whites. The trick to this one is it's all about light, because you can see this one here is kind of bent over.
Yeah, it looks sad.
Yeah, it looks sad. So to prevent that, you just got to keep spinning it a quarter turn about every day, because you don't want like a you want your.
I'm not doing that.
No, you want your amaryllis like straight and erect, straight up and down, right? You don't want it. You don't want it. You don't want it bent over like that.
God willing. I mean, I just.
So that's a common problem with.
It's a common problem, believe me. Yeah.
So you want it straight.
You want it what? You want to just no, we're joking, but do you really have to turn it?
Yeah, I do that every day, because that's the way you want your amaryllis, up and down, perpendicular, right? Not horizontal like that. But if you were to have this, it's naturally bending towards the light. So to prevent that, just a turn every day. Every 2 days.
That's a gift, but that requires work.
No, it's just a little turn.
Okay, just a little turn. Okay.
It's just a little turn.
It is pretty, though. Are they hardy once they stick straight up?
They are. So this one, they're super easy to grow. See, this one's not even in soil. There's some bulbs that actually need that forcing, like tulips, daffodils. Amaryllis is one of those that don't need any cold treatment, so you really don't even have to plant them.
Are they hardy though, buddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
All your of course, indoor evergreens are popular at this time of year, particularly if you don't put up a live tree. The trick with any evergreen is to make sure that they're in super bright light, and then also water sparingly. You don't want to drown out any of these little evergreen trees because they can drop needles. So just basically what you want to do is, and really for any plant, especially poinsettias, we'll get to those in a minute, but any plant that's in, I call them party clothes, but any plant that has party clothes on, just make sure you water them out of the party clothes.
You call those party clothes?
Yeah. Like little holiday decoration, That's right. So you take them out of their party clothes, let them drain, because otherwise...
Take them out of their party clothes.
Because otherwise, see all that water?
They do that, yeah. The party clothes are wet. Now you're making the new set wet, but that's fine. Anyway, let's get to
poinsettias.
Poinsettias.
Yeah, super fun, super easy. The trick with those is protect them from cold. If you're in the northern climate, protect them from cold. Unwrap them right away is really key. Keep them away from any air conditioning, any heating.
And they're dangerous for animals, right, buddy? All kidding aside.
Yeah, cats don't like them. It has a latex kind of sap to them. Not really harmful for us, but a lot of pets, yes. They also make an okay cut flower as well. You can cut those. You can stick that tip in like boiling hot water and then cool them down really quick. Makes a great little cut flower as well.
I really appreciate, I appreciate you for a variety of reasons, but I appreciate that you brought one to match the set. Like you did, you could have brought a lot of colors, but you brought a purple one to match our set. Thank you, Dale.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
It's all about the presentation.
Yeah, it is. You need to turn that bad boy one more time.
Yeah, we'll give it one more turn. And then last but not least, of course, you have a lot of fresh evergreens, centerpieces, things like that. They're usually in oasis foam, so make sure you just keep that moist. That's the key. And then also, there's this little product called Wilt Stop. You can pick it up from your favorite hardware store, garden shop, anything like that, and that will help prevent wreaths, your trees, any centerpieces from dropping needles. It kind of puts a nice little kind of coating over them, and then that will keep them staying nice and fresh. We're gonna let you borrow Dale, because when we come back, Dale is answering questions from our Facebook page when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody.
Let's make it a good day.
Welcome back. We are back with Dale K, our garden guy. Don't forget to follow Dale on social if you're watching us from other parts of the country. Okay, we posted on our Facebook page today, Ask the Garden Guy. And we were... GG for short. GG, that's right. We are flooded with questions. Are you ready? Now, just like magicians, Dale hasn't seen these in advance. So these... Actually, I really haven't. Okay, yeah, here we go. Like barely. Here we go. You ready? First is Christine. Hi, Christine. She writes, "Hey, Dale, is it better to pull all the plants out of the garden after harvest, or leave them in and then till them into the soil in the spring?" So what I do is I take them out in the fall. I think it just looks a little bit better. And I'm super eager to get back into the garden as quickly as possible. So I do all that prep work in the fall. What I do is, if those plants aren't diseased, compost them, and then, because the question was kind of the nutritional value. Yeah, so what provides more nutrients for the soil. If you compost them and then add that back into the soil, that's the best yet. Okay, next, Liz. Hi, Liz. Liz writes, "Hey, Dale." She says she's potted peppers that she brings in every winter, and they get, what is that? Aphids. Aphids? Every year. Aphids. Aphids, whatever. She's tried picking them off with tape and soap. How does she make them go away? What say you? I don't know. You're a garden guy, I'm TV guy. I don't know. What? So with aphids and mites, they're almost like superhuman, Superman kind of, they've built up a lot of resistance over decades and decades of... You can't kill them. Trying to control them, so they're kind of like superbugs nowadays. So they are, and some plants attract aphids more than others. Peppers are one of those ones that's just like a magnet. So they can be tough to control, especially indoors. Warm, soapy water regularly is probably your best. You can do, there are products on the market that you can control them with. But you want to make sure you read these labels, particularly on peppers. Follow the days to harvest if you've got some peppers already on the plants. Sarah writes to us. She's from our home market in the Twin Cities, but this, I'm sure it's applicable other parts. She said, "A lot of us here experienced the lilacs reblooming after the wet part of summer, and they had blight or mold. Are these lilacs going to come back to normal in the spring, or will they need a year to recover?"
So I've been doing this for decades and decades, and for whatever this year in this part of this neck of the woods in the Twin City area, a lot of lilacs were pushing blooms later in the summer. And there's really only two reasons why a lilac would push blooms. First one being stress. The second one is incorrect pruning. There was a lot of stress, either from lack of water and then a lot of water, that caused them to push out blooms. It happened around September when we naturally get cool nights. Well, warmer days, cool nights. That's just like in the spring up here in May. So they kind of triggered that bloom after that stress period. More than likely, they'll be just fine. They'll probably reset some buds, and they'll bloom again this spring.
Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Teresa bought a small Meyer lemon tree this summer, planting it in a pot on her deck. Now it's in the dining room by a window, and she hopes it will thrive in the winter. Any tips for taking better care of it indoors so I can get some fruit in the summer?
So what you have to do with any citrus is that you have to kind of pollinate. You have to pretend that you're a bee. So if it's blooming, you
like get in a bee costume, or yeah.
No, what I do is get like a little cotton wool bud, and then I'll just go spread the pollen throughout the flowers, and you can actually
record this the next time you do this.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And you know, the great thing about citrus is the wonderful fragrance indoors, one of the most beautiful scents in the home. Not too close to the window. Bring it back from the window. Lots of light, lots of heat. Of course, you know, it's a citrus. It needs all of that. Keep it a little bit drier. Watch for bugs. But usually they will strike bloom at this time of year. And if you want to start to set fruit, pretend like you're a little bee and just kind of you dab each flower with a cotton wool bud.
Make it better with a bee costume.
You're simulating the bee.
That's right. Finally, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Has an African violet that not violent. She has an African violet that needs to be repotted, and another.
Doing TV with you is quite exciting.
An African violet flower that needs to be repotted, and another that might need to be split. Is this a good time of year to repot?
So that's a really popular question with houseplants in general. My general rule of thumb is not to repot over the winter months. I always wait till spring to do any repotting. Days are longer. You can take the plants outdoors, so I'm not a huge fan of repotting in the winter months. As far as dividing African violets, can be done, a little bit trickier. Make sure that the plant is at least 3 to 4 years old before you do any propagation by division.
Got it. Give it up for Dale K, everybody. He's the best. Follow him on Instagram. Just search for Dale K Garden Guy, and we'll be posting this on our socials a little bit later. Back with your comments and questions when we come back. Back in a moment. That's great, buddy. I love this one. Welcome back. Don't forget to come see us, eventbrite.com. Search for The Jason Show. Well, from decorations and flights to gross theaters and shamrock shakes, we take the time to read what you have to say about our show. Leo, let's open up the Jason Show mailbag. First up, everybody.
You got me.
Thank you. A very lovely message from a woman named Naomi. Hi, Naomi. She says, I love your holiday decorations on the set. Very beautiful. I have to thank you for bringing a smile to my face every day. When your pre-show starts, I catch myself smiling. You always bring some fun and levity to my life. She also says, my husband passed away from COVID a couple years ago, and it's taken a long time to get some joy back. Thank you for helping with that. Keep on doing what you're doing. Naomi, thank you, sweetheart. Come on.
Yeah.
Another phrase we say a lot. What's better than that?
Absolutely. And I will say the decorations are lovely. I'd like to hire them for my house next year.
Seriously, I know.
They're so nice, yeah.
This is again, I would like to give them a little plug locally. They're here locally, called Home Furniture. Home, no E. They've done our set like 5 or 6 years. No bust on the other years. This is my favorite.
It's great.
They really
They leaned into those jewel tones like you like.
I know. They just did a really great job. Thank you, John, for that beautiful shot right there. There we go. Next, a lot of comments from our fast food field trip last week. We brought wine diva Leslie Miller in the car this time for the first time, and we tried the deep-fried turkey gobbler sandwich from Arby's, which, by the way, we loved. Laurel writes in. Hi, Laurel. She says, these segments make me laugh out loud. I have to watch them over and over, sharing with everyone I know. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Andrew says he and his dad got this a few days before before we aired the episode, and we're thoroughly impressed. The sandwiches are delicious. He says it's something to keep in mind if it comes back next Thanksgiving. Oh, from what I understand, Arby's, it sold very well. And Dan says, I tried the Arby's turkey sandwich, and it was okay, not great. It's okay, Dan. And Catherine also tried it a few weeks ago and took off the tomato. And
wow.
That's what I do.
Okay.
And she agrees the Shamrock Shake is like eating frozen toothpaste. That was Leslie Miller's review. I agree. I love the Shamrock Shake.
Oh, you love it.
I love it.
I think I've tried it once. It's not something I seek out.
Oh, I love it so much. Next, I always have some travel stories after I return from a trip. Sometimes they involve some etiquette or bad behavior on flights, like the woman on my flight on Friday who took off her shoes and socks and put her feet on the wall. But that's a story for a different day. And she did it. Angela says she recently took a flight in South Korea and thought of me. She says the lady behind her got on with her dog, and after she settled in, she looked back and the passenger was putting a pee pad under Angela's seat for the 6 hours flight. Are you kidding me? Is this the new normal?
Oh, man.
Angela, let me answer the last part first. Yes, this is the new normal. Welcome to our planet now. And that's disgusting.
It really is. I mean, I try to think about, oh, if the dog has incontinence, you know, it's got to go, but I also, like, you can't do that.
Don't put it under my seat.
No, I agree. Just anywhere. The seats get closer and closer together every single year. So that was basically on her feet at that point.
I don't even know what the policy is. I'm sure it's different.
I don't either.
It was airline by airline.
Typically, the policy is you can't take the animal out of the carrier.
Yeah.
It has to stay, like, under the seat in front of you in a carrier.
Last week, finally, I told you about the going to the movies and how gross one of the theaters I went to was. We posted about it on TikTok and received some comments. Kyle says, I think this may be the first time I actually agree with Jason.
Hey, look, exciting. Okay.
I mean, you know what? I'll take it. I don't care. Hey, as long as you watch, I don't care if you throw tomatoes on the TV. Leslie says AMC should hire people at a decent wage to clean up the theaters. I don't disagree with Leslie. I don't care how they fix it. One person thinks that AMC bathrooms are revolting. And Eric asked, why is popcorn all over the floor at the theater the fault of the theater and not the disgusting people who threw it there? Look, all good points. I think, but I think people are gross. I went off on that at Target Field one year.
Yeah.
The people just leaving. People can be gross. But I'm telling you, I wasn't blaming the workers. To be clear, blame the company. Give them good wages and set up a system for them to succeed.
Agreed. Also, I mean, there are disgusting people. I mean, I'm one of them sometimes, I'm sure, in situations. But not every time that popcorn is spilled, it's just someone who's being a disgusting human.
Absolutely.
I mean, my kid, it's like she's prone to knocking something over, and I will always try to clean it up, even at a restaurant, but I don't have a broom with me at the theater to get every kernel, so some things are going to be there sometimes. And I miss my own mouth sometimes. You know what I mean? I'll go to eat something, miss my own mouth, it falls on the floor, and I'm like, I mean, I would pick up some of it, but we take all of our trash and throw it away, but there might be some popcorn left behind.
Well, on that note, we'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.
It happens.
It happens. I agree. Welcome back. Our holiday card exchange has become quite the tradition over the past few years. You can send us a card and we will send one back to you signed. You can find the info on our social pages. We'll read them. We'll read some later in the week. There's the address right there. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Oh, yes. We have our Jason Show staff holiday party. Are you excited to come to my home?
Yeah, what's on the menu?
Corn dogs.
I would be happy with corn dogs.
Corn dogs
I love
and
corn
crinkle
dogs.
fries.
Oh, I'd be so hype. Is it a state fair theme for Christmas?
Yeah.
That seems very specific. Okay.
I know. I'm having it catered in. I was gonna cook, but I'm like, no.
No way.
I'm not cooking.
I've made the mistake.
I
in the
love
past,
all of
yeah.
you, but I'm not cooking.
I made the mistake of like, I'll always be the person that's like, let's try a new recipe when I'm having guests over.
Me too.
It's the worst idea ever. You're just stress sweating. Nothing gets done on time, or it turns out terrible. And you're like, why?
Why did I? Oh, yet another thing we have in common.
Yeah.
I've done that, so I'm like, why am I trying something new?
Catering is smart, is what I'm saying, yeah.
Coming up tomorrow on the show, stocking up your bar for the holidays. Food and beverage writer Joy Summers is back with tips with essentials for hosting these holiday parties. That's going to do it for us today. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, like Kate Winslet talked about, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody, not even that potato guy, can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.